Hey y'all, this is Pistol Pete, 7556 here, bringing you some more Black Ops 2 gameplay. I'm actually going to be re-uploading the quickscoping one because of some unspecified issues that really bugged me, because it just really didn't turn out that good. And that gameplay deserves a bit better. Today I'm going to be talking about, first of all, this gameplay is Team Deathmatch on the map Plaza. I'm using the FAL with the Art of War camo, and I'm using no attachments, just bare bones here, working on the, this is for the Cherry Blossom camo I believe I was going for. I was working towards my gold FAL, which I now have. And the scorch I'm using is a UAV, Hunter Killer Drone, and Lightning Strike, keeping it pretty low. It's a good strategy I've used before that's really helpful if you're trying to get a lot of points. Because what you do is you end up getting, you don't necessarily get the big kill streak or the big, obviously the big one that people want is always like in the big bang, but you end up getting a lot of these, which is in a ways really helpful because you're like, oh, there's UAVs constantly up in the air for big chunks of the game, Hunter Killer Drones flying everywhere, and you get a lot of lightning strikes, and lightning strikes you can do a lot of damage with. So I felt this is a really good way, for me at least, to get a lot of points and really be beneficial to the team. Anyway, what I was going to talk about is kind of what we want to do with kind of some ideas for where we want to go in the future, because we're obviously just starting out, and I don't really have a super ton of experience doing any of this. I mean, I've done video editing before, but I've never done it on this largest scale, and I've never done it obviously with video games. So this is kind of a learning experience. So if you got any tips or whatever, you feel free to comment below. But what I'm going to talk about today really is some issues with that a lot of people have been blaming video games for violence. Obviously in the wake of the tragedy in Newton, Connecticut, that a lot of people have been pointing the finger at Adam Lanza, the shooter. That he obviously was an avid video game player, played games like the one I'm showing you right now, like Call of Duty. And one of my also pointed the finger at one of my favorite game series right now, which is the Mass Effect trilogy, another game that he played. And I would like to believe, I believe that media obviously has an influence over people's thinking, because everything that we watch, read, play, listen to, obviously any type of stimuli has an effect on our brain. However, you can't tell me that going out and playing a video game where you shoot a bunch of people on the internet is going to make you want to shoot a bunch of small children and commit such a heinous atrocity. There's no way in hell I'd believe that. I've been playing first-person shooters in particular pretty much my entire life, since I was a little kid. So I was probably about 4 years old. And I mean, some of the first ones I played back were, obviously the Doom 2, Doom 1 and 2, Quake 2, still my all-time favorite first-person shooter, Quake 2. And I'm actually tempted, if anyone would be interested in seeing that, to put some gameplay of me playing that on my computer with the graphical settings set all the way up, and it still carries really well. Obviously, it's dated. The game was released in, I believe, 1996. But it's older than some people probably watching this video, but it's still a fantastic game, and it's really harkened back to when a single player campaign didn't have to have all these complicated elements to it in order for it to be great and to be memorable, or to have like this great memorable setting. So, because Quake 2 game I'll always remember, one of my favorites. But any of these type of games, they've been blamed for shootings in the past. They've been blamed for Columbine. They've been blamed for the most recent shooting in Connecticut. They've blamed the Virginia Tech massacre. I mean, and there's no direct correlation to video games contributing to violent behavior. Even games like Grand Theft Auto, any of the Grand Theft Auto games, any of the true crime games, if anyone remembers those, the Saints Row series, any type of mayhem game. I mean, yes, it's fun to drive a car around and crash into people, but no one goes out of their way to do that. So it's pretty ridiculous to think out of the way that anyone would do that. And another thing that people have been kind of, politicians have been blaming video games for, and that's kind of a joke. It's a joke is saying they scapegoating movies for the same way. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. But and it goes the same way for blaming weapons too. I mean, it's an inanimate object. Yes, you can use them to cause harm to people. You can also use them for defense. Or, I mean, just because, and guns aren't the one of the, aren't, unless they're not being handled properly, don't, or if as long as they're not stored loaded, I mean, they're not a danger of being in a safe. So I don't see why we need to blame media, why we need to blame movies, why we need to blame video games, why we need to blame guns for any of these problems, where as long as there are people in the world, there's going to be evil in the world. And that's something that people just need to accept. That if someone wants to commit some kind of atrocity or wants to do something evil, they're going to do it. Because either they have some kind of sick pleasure in doing something like that, or they're just sick in the head. And there's something mentally wrong with them, and we ignore the fact that they need mental help. And that their mental health is not at a state where they should be able to coexist in society and be treated like they need any type of special attention. And I'm not saying we need to lock these people up, not at all. I'm just saying that the problem in the United States in particular, and across the world, is that we put so much emphasis on a lot of other issues that we kind of have let mental health slip through the cracks, and we use these atrocities as an excuse to push agendas rather than actually trying to fix a problem, which is really disgusting, and it's a really bad thing to do. And this gameplay is about to wrap up here. I'm pretty much done, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is a fun gameplay for me to play. It's a fun one to record. And I'll see you guys during my next video, and hope you guys enjoy this. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you don't, you want to tell me F off, you want to tell me we suck or whatever, then you just go in the comment section below, and there you go. Alright, so peace out.